And we are live at the Sizzlin Summer Bash right here with Rampage Pro Wrestling at Johnny G's Fun Center in Warner Robins. Glad you're joined us because you're going to see some kind of action. And right now we're talking about a culmination of a feud that's been going on, a family feud of sorts between Pretty Boy Doug Sommers and his son, Frankie Valentine. Frankie Valentine getting the challenge now, the TV champion, Jeremy Vane.
Well, and not just that, you may be watching us on DVD, but you may also be getting an opportunity to see some of this match on Rampage Pro Wrestling Television, as we're trying to give our fans every opportunity to see this great action. Of course, the best way to see the action, come right here to Johnny G's, as these great fans did for Sizzlin Summer Bash. And I know if you're watching this on television, you're making your plans to be here August 7th when we've got Davey Richards, the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. We have Adam Pearce, the three-time NWA champion, and we also have former NWA champion Colt Boom Boom Cabana, in addition to all of our great Rampage Pro Wrestling stars.
Championship night there on Sunday afternoon, August 7th, 2 p.m. Not often you get not one, not two, but three special guests on one wrestling card. What a super day to be there. Don't miss it, bring the whole family. And right now, here comes the challenger, a young man who certainly has been chasing this title. And not only that, but if Frankie Valentine wins this title, he's getting 5 minutes alone on the Sizzlin Summer Bash with his father, Pretty Boy Doug Sommers.
Decision made by now General Manager Dr. Johnny Gayton, and a good decision it was. You have to admit, Frankie Valentine had quite a few opportunities, but somehow, and usually with the help of Doug Sommers, Jeremy Vane has managed to remain champion. He's been a resilient champion, but in this case, not only does he have the opportunity to become the heavyweight, to become the television champion, but he could not only have that prize, but even a greater prize, the chance to show his stepfather what kind of man he really is in the wrestling ring.
And you know, Frankie made it very clear in his interview, not only is it important to win the title, to be the champion, to get the fame, to get the money that comes with the belt, but what a message he would send to his foster dad, Pretty Boy Doug Sommers. Yes, I am ready for this. Yes, I'm quite capable of winning this title.
Very true, and of course, television time limit on this particular match, 15-minute time limit, the usual for our television title matches. That holds true here, even at Sizzlin Summer Bash.
And here you see right away, it is the champion firing away at Valentine. Valentine shoots him off, good tackle by Vane. Up and over his man off the ropes. Good leapfrog there by Valentine. Takes that head and dunks him fastly over the top rope and down to the arena floor.
And what a tremendous Sizzlin Summer Bash we've had so far. We had six-man tag team action, and what a tremendous match that was with the 704 team of Caleb Conley and Cedric Alexander, with Jimmy the Kid victorious over Jimmy Rave Approved. And then by the skin of his teeth, Barry Bull Buchanan retained the NWA RPW heavyweight title. We have this tremendous match, and we're still not to the ultimate main event, which will be that four-way elimination match for the tag team titles.
You're talking about 8 men in that ring, and all 8 of them would like to be leaving here with gold. And of course, the tag team defending champions, Hot Like Lava, former champions, the usual suspects, along with Kyle Matthews and Ace Rockwell, Jimmy Rave, and Sal Renaro.
Well, backdrop on the outside. Our cameras were right there for that one. But Valentine preoccupied with Doug Sommers, who's standing close enough to Jeremy Vane to protect him from further damage. You can tell they're always smart positioning, smart man in Doug Sommers. He knows how to take advantage of a situation, but that comes with experience. This is a 2-time AWA Tag Team Champion.
By the way, if you'd like to meet Pretty Boy Doug Sommers and talk with him at length about maybe his relationship with Frankie or whatever, he'll be at the Fan Fest Sunday, August 4th.
Line positioning here for Valentine, but he manages to hit that moonsault to the outside as Vane was coming to his feet. Sommers had backed out of the way, wasn't able to protect Vane from that, and now both men down early in the match, but already a lot of damage being done to both of these men.
On the arena floor, we cannot get a pinfall, so back to the ring they go. Frankie throwing the champion back in. In addition to seeing Doug Sommers, former AWA star, also former AWA World Champion Nick Botwinkle, and his former manager, Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan, to be there. So a little reunion of sorts at the Fan Fest, August 4th through 7th.
We talked about Scrap Iron Adam Pearce on a recent conversation I had with the three-time NWA champion. I was discussing some similarities I saw between him and the legendary Nick Bockwinkel.
Great champion he was, and look at that maneuver there. Taught him with that atomic knee drop in a different form. Right hand by Frank, he had to shake that off.
Bockwinkel, a different kind of heavyweight champion, very intelligent, educated man.
And he was the same in the ring as out of the ring, always classy.
Very much so. I met him in the lobby of a television station years ago and had a very good conversation with him well before I was involved in professional wrestling.
And Bobby Heenan and Nick Bobwood will be inducting Ray Stevens into the Hall of Heroes there at the Fan Fest. And
what an association those three had in the AWA territory up in the Chicago, Minneapolis area for years.
NWALegends.com for tickets, and then join us live on Sunday, August 7th. See some of those stars that will be at Fan Fest, as we talked about Adam Pearce, Total Boom Cabana, and David Richards. It's going to be a great weekend all the way through. And in the ring right now, it's Frankie Valentine going for this title. Grabbing the legs now, the champion, Jeremy Vane, and what will he do with it now? He's had him in a vulnerable position, and certainly a place that this champion does not want to be. And she talked about the time limit. The time limit's on the side of the champion because Jeremy Vane doesn't have to beat Frankie.
All the way through, and I think his shoulder, well, if his shoulder didn't catch the ring post, Doug Sommers made sure it did. A referee didn't see that. I certainly did. Doug Sommers grabbing that already injured arm and throwing it again into the corner post already. Doug Sommers' influence has become wide in this particular match, as it has in every other title defense.
And now it's the untouchable Jeremy Vane caught him with a flatliner type move on the arm. And that could do some damage here. And notice how he just pushes that face to the side. Insult to injury. And now barring the arm now on the shoulder, working the shoulder and arm of Frankie Valentine. Frankie Valentine's been chasing after this title for quite some time. And most especially once Doug Sommers allied himself with the champion. It seems like Doug Sommers did that on purpose.
Very much so. Well, Doug Sommers himself, a former champion, I'm sure enjoys being aligned with the champion, but the exact reason why he carries such great frustration for someone who he should be treating better, who he should be mentoring more, and even if he's disappointed, even if he feels he's not doing as well as he should, why would you turn on that guy?
Absolutely. I'd hate to be in that household at Christmas. I'm sure it's a very interesting place.
And it's a tough dinner table right there.
And now we see a submission type move here as he has a step over on that head and applying the pressure with an arm bar.
I think if I was Frankie, I'd sit at the card table.
Yeah, probably so. Might need the chair that he's sitting in to use it before the game was over. And now Jeremy Vane stretching that arm out of Frankie Valentine. No, we shouldn't make light of it. I know it's a very serious family feud going on.
But it's confusing. I mean, as we sit here talking about it, and I did make light, but the reality is, here we have, I mean, this is legitimate. This is not a made-up situation. This is the man's legitimate stepfather. They have to interact in the real world.
Well, there's a mother involved somewhere.
And you can only imagine how she's responding to all of this. We see it play out in the wrestling ring. She sees it play out in public, at home.
And what does Doug go golfing when Frankie visits his mom? We don't know what happened.
It is a tragic situation. Sometimes you make light of tragedy to try to get through it, and I guess we're doing some of that here.
It's something we don't.
I have no ability to understand it at all.
And now it is Jeremy Vane now pummeling and now spitting in the face of Valentine. And that's an Anderson brother type move, winging the arm behind the back. And we talked about the Anderson brothers being a fan fest. And one thing about the NWA tradition that goes on, and when you see moves like that the Anderson brothers use, that's something that wrestlers have taken and kept going and kept it alive for all these years. It worked back then, and it works today.
Well, one of the great realities, and it's one of the things that has made NWA Rampage Pro Wrestling, if not the top, one of the top promotions in the Southeast, if not in the entire United States, is that the wrestlers here take their craft extremely seriously. They are not here to, as some suggest, sports entertain. They're here to compete and entertain. But the key is the competition. The key is the passion they bring into the ring and the tremendous skill level they bring into the ring. These are not fat guys rolling around doing the best they can to try to get in and out of the ring. These are consummate professional wrestlers who can go with the best in the world.
And the word wrestling is on the market.
As it should be. It's the National Wrestling Alliance, and that is what the brand means.
And a high knee there by Jeremy Vane, and caught Frankie, rolls him up, hooks the leg, not enough. I know that he's very frustrated at this point, not to get the pinfall. Frankie has 2 goals here, not only to win the title, but to get those 5 minutes alone. Who knows if he got his hands on Doug Sommers in a wrestling match, maybe he could straighten him out.
Kicks out right there, can't hold him down. It's the one thing I've learned watching Frankie Valentine since he returned here in my tenure at Rampage Pro Wrestling. I was in here the first time he was in as a tag team partner with Kyle Matthews. But this guy, just tremendous heart. He's got a never say die kind of situation.
And now it is Jeremy Vane.
Wait, he's biting him, Ben.
Man. Now that's just insane there. That has nothing to do with wrestling.
Well, I'm used to seeing that from someone like Abdullah the Butcher, but not used to seeing it from Jeremy Vane.
He needs to have lunch before he gets in the ring, that's for sure. At that time, caught him in the arm with a boot.
Maybe at Abdullah's House of Ribs.
Absolutely. I'm sure that you could get something there. Maybe not cheap, but it's there.
It is.
And now it is that arm obviously giving him fits here.
Again, and we reinforce it, Jeremy Vane may take every shortcut. He may use Doug Sommers to his advantage, but when he has an advantage on an opponent, there is no wrestler in Rampage Pro Wrestling that is more dangerous, and you're seeing it right here. Injured body part, partially done by Vane, the other part done by Doug Sommers, but Vane staying on that part, and you can see that arm limp at the side of Frankie Valentine, but yet still fighting back. What tremendous heart.
Fighting with one arm, and now on the ropes, the referee will call for a break. And Doug Sommers right there in the face of Frankie Valentine, trying to insult the man and distract him. Caught him with a boot right to the head, almost had him. Can't take anything away from the TV champion, you know. Jeremy Vane is the face of Rampage Pro Wrestling TV, and he's had that title for quite some time.
Yes, he has, and gone through several major feuds here in the process and emerged victorious in each and every one since he took the title off of J-Rod quite a while ago.
And sporting a new hairstyle, as we pointed out recently, he reminds me of Ric Flair when he cut all his hair off. Remember that?
Very much so, and I'm not sure I liked that, honestly. Don't really care about Jeremy Vane cutting his hair, but for something about Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, cutting his hair just didn't seem right to me.
Like Samson losing his strength.
Nah, it just didn't seem right. The Nature Boy needed to style and profile, and for some reason that involved long hair.
Absolutely. And now you see again.
But then again, that was the Nature Boy back in the day, and certainly not the Nature Boy of today.
Oh, no. Totally different. Sunset flip, rolls him over, and escape there. Barely made it. And now both men are down, both men are groggy, and that arm is giving fits to Frankie Valentine, and it's going to be worse now.
Keys it right there, and he's putting a ton of pressure on that, bending it against the way that arm wants to go. And
in the upper body of Jeremy Vane just turning red from all the strength he's putting into this. You can tell he's putting a lot of pressure on Frankie, and we could see a submission right here.
And you've got to wonder at what point does the amount of pain overtake your ability to resist, to the point where literally too much pain, you could pass out.
And of course, if you pass out, that's it. That's the end of the match. And Frankie certainly has the fan support, if anyone does at Rampage Pro Wrestling. Trying to figure an escape is hard to do with one arm, but he is going to try. In excruciating pain, a blow to the kidney, and he just wrenched in harder on that arm.
When you saw right there, it was like the air was let out of Frankie Valentine with that single movement by Jeremy Vane, but Valentine back to his feet, still fighting back, but those punches carrying little impact at this point. But he manages a maneuver to get out. Vane misses, and Valentine launches a chop and another.
Couple of hard shots by Valentine, and a third. And there's a cutoff there by Vane. Off the ropes, good maneuver, up and over. Caught him with an elbow. Caught him with a clothesline, and now Frankie Valentine's on fire with one arm. Frankie Valentine caught him. Flatliner right, down to the canvas, face first. Stepping on him, drops an elbow.
Tremendously innovative maneuver right there, taking advantage of what he has and avoiding the problems with what he doesn't. Now goes for a cover, but really doesn't have to. Well, he does manage to hook the leg, but really
close. If he had a little bit more leverage and strength in that arm, he might could have pinned the champion right there. Frankie Valentine in his quest to become the RPW TV champion, to get 5 minutes alone with his foster dad, Pretty Boy Doug Sommers. He's got to get the pinfall submission to do that. And right now it is the champion, Jeremy Vane, the untouchable, on the ropes. Arm whip, Frankie goes in. Reversal there, and up and over goes the champion. Frankie moves out, caught him with a drop kick, glanced him there on the side of the head, maybe the ear. And now the champion is groggy. And then he had to go high for that one. And now it's Frankie now with great resilience on that top rope. And caught him.
Roll through.
Reversal.
Oh, only two, but you can't get a whole lot closer than that, Ben.
Ducks the clothesline off the ropes. Ducks the clothesline again. Oh, caught him that time with a flying tackle. And now both men go down. The referee has to count for both men. They have a 10 count to stand up. And both men collide in midair, crashing hard to the canvas. And now wait a minute, Pretty Boy Doug Sommers up on the ring ropes, distracting the referee as both men continue to crawl up to their feet. Valentine comes up, caught him with that knee across the head.
1 minute remaining.
We've seen him do that before. Time is of the essence. The time limit quickly expiring. The referee's distracted, and Frankie has the pinfall. Frankie has the match won. Time is running out, and Pretty Boy Doug Sommers is on the apron. The referee not even seeing the champion's down, but he cannot turn away from Doug Sommers. Doug Sommers deliberately distracted him, and now it's using his head in more ways than one. And Jeremy Vane now sending Doug Sommers down, caught him across the head. Only a 2 count. Frankie Valentine is determined to win this match, and time is running out. Time is of the essence. Hard chop. Hard blow by Valentine. Now Valentine pounding away. Again, caught him with the knee to the head. And that should be it. He's motioning that it's all over. Covers him. Wait just a minute. The 15-minute TV time limit has expired. We know in all TV title matches there's a 15-minute time limit. And that time limit has run out. And a big smile across the face of Pretty Boy Doug Sommers.
Still your RPW TV title champion, Jeremy Vane.
The title cannot change hands if the time runs out.
Tremendously frustrating situation for Frankie Valentine, and as time was running down, you saw Doug Sommers do everything he possibly could to distract the referee at this point. But
Doug Sommers in the ring now, and trying to wake the man up.
well, Jeremy Vane doesn't look like much of a winner right now, and certainly he didn't win this match, but inevitably he did, because he leaves again with that television title. Doug Sommers, very instrumental in this particular, well, I don't call it a victory, but certainly it's a loss for Frankie Valentine, because not only doesn't he become television champion, but he has no opportunity to show Doug Sommers what he can do in the ring one-on-one. I have a feeling that'll happen before too long.
Absolutely, and once again, the champion is still the untouchable Jeremy Vane. Hard-fought match. Frankie Valentine, the time ran out. You're watching the Sizzlin Summer Match.